Good morning. It is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. Jump date for Wednesday night. All right, let's go. Well, I swapped out the WPM for AGI. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. Do make sure you wait for an entry. Gold stocks are not as strong as they were. Silver's already cracked a little, or a lot. So that's a little bit of a concern. So waiting for an entry might keep you out of trouble there, but it still looks like it's a viable setup, obviously. Go ahead and lower your stop on TPR a little bit on that one. We'll take a look at the rest of the portfolio in just 1 second. Here's the AGI. I like it a little bit better than the WPM. We'll take a look at WPM real quick. WPM just kind of came back into where it sort of broke out from and had this drifting action. It took off nicely, so that's okay. But then it came back to where it was drifting. So that's one of the concerns there. Just kind of dipped into it a few days ago, and that's when I liked it in a TKO type of move. But now that we got a couple days in there, I like the AGI better. So again, make sure you wait for an entry on that. We could see some shorts setting up fairly soon. I prefer to go after these shorts that are at higher levels. In this case, we only have one really huge bar down. I'd like to see a few down bars in here. I guess we have two, but it looks okay. But maybe let's just see what happens with these shorts over the next few days. But again, as far as the shorts, I like them just breaking off of all-time highs like this, as opposed to quite a few stocks that are already in these longer-term downtrends that look more like that. Anyway, so that's the reason that you're seeing these type of shorts in here for now. Let's take a look at the portfolio, and then we'll pop out, obviously, to the overall market, and we'll drill down to some sectors, of course, and maybe a commodity or two. CCL starting strong but ending weak, still in the plus column, but obviously still looking like it's in trouble. JBL, nice little opening gap reversal. They're not banging out new closing lows, so no need to bump the stop on that one. TPR did close at a new closing low, so that's why we're going to start trailing the stop again on it. Let's take a look at the overall market again and drill down a bit. First of all, as usual, let's take a look at the P's. S&P 500. You would think I've done this before. No, we just have so many in here tonight. It's hard to find everything. S&P 500, bit of a bummer because we did have the strong start, as you know, but unfortunately we did reverse, and it wasn't a rout, but we did bump around quite a bit, and then closed way down here. And that's a new closing low. That's never a good thing. And if you go way back in time, you can go all the way back here to February of 24. So that's always a concern when you give up that much trading. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ Composite, same sort of action happening there too. Another closing low. So let's squint your eyes. Let's see. You can go all the way back again, a long, long ways, way back to 24 there. So that's another concern. So anybody who bought stocks since 1924, it's been a long day. 2024 is at a loss. Early 2024, that is. Anyway, about a year or so ago, let's take a look at some other areas. Rusty, well, what do you expect out to Rusty? It never fails to disappoint, or never disappoints a disappointing. As you can see, opening gap reversal there, closing on its butt. It too at multi-year lows, so that's not a good thing, or 1 year plus lows at least, but all the way back to, I think you can go all the way to 2023 on this one, yeah, all the way back to 2023, so that's certainly not a good thing. Net price change, as I preach, something very important to look at. Now, the rest of the world was kind of hanging in there for a while, but now it's beginning to implode too, and not to confuse the issue with facts, but one has to wonder, now that they're feeling pain, if this is all tariff related, which it likely is, then will they start backing off on the tariffs, and will that remedy the situation? I don't know. You get into a lot of trouble when you start to confuse the issue with facts, but I do find it interesting. I actually see it as a positive. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I see it as a positive that the foreign shares are dropping it here. Throw a dart as you go through these sectors. It really doesn't matter. Most of these have imploded as of late. Biotech banging out some serious new lows with a bit of vigor. Look at that. That's all the way back to 2023. Broker-dealer, another one of those areas not doing so hot. Opening gap reversal there. New multi-month or 1 year plus lows, however you want to look at that. List goes on and on. Medical devices right here closing at new lows. So a lot of areas closed at new lows today. That's something that's important to pay attention to. All service stocks banging out new lows with a bit of vigor. All the commodity you can see banging out some new lows in here. So that's pushing that lower. Real estate, bam, brand new lows there. Utilities, so it's kind of no place to run, no place to hide. Brand new lows. Retail, you guessed it, brand new lows. Drugs, which we're doing pretty good not that long ago. Again, this is why we don't chase relative strength unless it's a commodity, possibly in a bear market. But you see drugs have imploded. So again, no place to run, no place to hide. Let's just see what happens on a bounce. We'll likely see plenty of shorts setting up. We might see some more insurance stocks setting up fairly soon, bounce or not. So maybe we'll go after those. But it's, as usual, it's a one day at a time environment, but especially now. Everybody have a fantastic night. If you have any questions, you know the routine. We'll talk again tomorrow, if not sooner. Thank you so much.